Assalamualaikum. Today we will continue our lecture with topic tools for creative thinking in IT. This is our learning outcome. At the end of this discussion, you must be able to explain about the creative thinking process. You must be able to describe the creative thinking tools and techniques. You must be able to apply the tools and techniques. What is the creative process? To study the creativity, we need to examine creative people, creative process, and what is the creative product. When we talk about the creativity, typically people will focus on the art people, the person who have very high skill in art. Doesn't matter the art is drawing, play music, acting. Commonly people will think they all is a creative people, but creative is not limited to the art people. It can be everybody, as long as the product produced by the people to solve the problem in creative perspective, we can consider the people is creative. In order to produce the creative product, we need a creative thinking, creative process. Therefore, in this lecture, we will discuss on the creative thinking and creative process in order to produce the creative product. So now we want to talk about the creative process. Basically, we have 4 creative thinking process as stated on the screen. We will go one by one. First, we will talk about the Wallace model. Wallace stated here have 4 phases of the creative process. Start with preparation, follow with the incubation, later follow with the illumination, and then at the final phase we have the implementation and verification. What is the preparation on the creative thinking process? Wallace mentioned here is we need to collect the background information. Based on the collected information, we focus on the problem, or we can focus to the opportunity. Based on the collected information, we can list out the problem. At the same time, we can list out the possible opportunity to solve the problem. After that, we review all the listed problem and opportunity in order to figure out what is the process involved to solve the problems. Then we try to sketch our expectation output. At the final phase, we try to develop and test the product. Next is a Young model. Young stated here is a 5 phase to be a creative thinking process. Start with the immersion, digestion, incubation, illumination, and verification. Okay, immersion means you need to gather all the data, material, and maybe gather all the information, the problem. Then from the all collected material, data or problems, you try to figure out the solution, the idea to solve the problem. Then you try to work with the collected information, propose the new solution. At the same time, you need to consider the possible process in order to achieve your objective. Then you need to develop. Finally, you need to verify and testing the usefulness of the proposed product. That is a Young 5-step model. Then we have Osborne. Osborne stated 7-step model. Start with orientation, preparation, analysis, ideation, incubation, synthesis, and evaluation. Orientation more or less is similar like the previous. We will start with the problem. Okay, we need to figure out what the actual problem, what is the real problem. Then we prepare the data in the problem scope. We try to figure out as much as information that we can gather that related with the problems. Then we analyze. We need to break down and figure out the relevant solution. Later on, we try to figure out a new idea, a new way to solve the problem instead of the conventional. Later on, we try to sketch our proposed solution and then putting everything in one piece of image and develop our idea. Finally, we need to test and evaluate the product. And then the final method, as we can see here, we have 7 phases. Start with accept the situation, then we analyze, we define, ideate, then we select, implement, and finally we evaluate. Accept the situation is similar to figure out the problem. When we realize what is the problem, we analyze. Maybe we need to break down into the small problems, means you need to look a little deeper than previous. Then you need to define your problem. At the same time, you need to figure out the possible solution. Later on, you design your proposed solution, your alternative idea, then you select the relevant solution from the previous listed idea. Once you select, you need to implement, means you need to develop, and then at the final phase, you need to evaluate and testing. Based on these 4 methods, I can summarize more or less is like similar. The description for every phases proposed by these 4 methods or 4 model of the creative thinking process. So student, I hope you get the idea in order to finish up your project so you can be creative to solve your problems and you can apply one from these 4 thinking process. Now we want to take a look on creative tool. We have a tools to help you in order to propose the creative product. We start with the brainstorming. Brainstorming is very cliche. When we been asked by our organization to conduct an event or program, doesn't matter is internally or involve external parties. The first, what we normally do, we will do the brainstorming among our team. So what we do during the brainstorming, normally we figure out the problems and then we list out the problems. At the same time, we list out the proposed solution, and all this process we did spontaneously, and everybody in the team will contribute and throw the idea. During this time, everybody will talkative, throw the idea. So brainstorming normally no silly idea. All the idea thrown by the members will be shortlisted. No argument to the idea. Just throw the idea. Contribute your idea to the team leader. That is a common process that what we do during the brainstorming. Here's some guideline for you to do the brainstorming. Brainstorming normally conduct in several times per meeting. I means if your meeting to do the brainstorm is 1 hour, within 1 hour we will have several rounds of throwing the idea regarding the topics that we discuss. But the most important, you must have one facilitator in order to write down all the idea. During the brainstorming is no judgment, no explanation, just throw the idea and no argument from others. That is a good brainstorming process. So the facilitator will write down exactly as per se by your team members. So at the end of the brainstorming, you will have a list of the idea regarding the problem, proposed solution, or anything else. So when you need to decide, the decision will be conducted in different meetings. The brainstorming only the process throwing the idea. There is no explanation. So everybody free to talk, to contribute the idea that related to the topic discussed. So there is a tips to conduct a brainstorming meeting. Facilitator must set the direction of the discussion. All the members must stay focused. If the discussion conducted in 1 hour, stay focused to the topic in 1 hour. Everybody must involve. Any wild idea are welcome, and then try to figure out the obvious idea. And then cross-fertilize means no border during throwing the idea, as long as the idea thrown still under the same topic. No judgment and allow repetition. Then we display the idea so everybody can see that the idea are listed, and please don't stop until at the end of the discussion, or please don't stop if you have still in discussion time. Now we take a look on the brainstorming versus brainwriting. Of course, when we conduct the brainstorming session, the session is tend to be dominated by a few individuals. So the person who talkative will conquer the discussion. So what happened to the person is passive during the discussion. That person will less talk during the discussion. However, better idea may be held back if we conduct the brainstorming. But brainwriting method is useful to encourage more uniform participation. The benefit we do the brainwriting, everybody be able to think and write without interfering by other people. It's good for the introvert person. That is the difference between brainstorming and brainwriting. So how we want to do the brainwriting? First, we must have facilitator to explain to everybody in the team how it works, and then the facilitator need to explain the objective and the problem, need to define what is the problem, need to define what is a objective. At the same time, the facilitator need to monitor in order to avoid the idea that's not related with the discussed topic. Then the facilitator need to pass all the paper to all participants, then tells everybody the duration of the process and when it will start and when it will stop. Then the facilitator need to do the same process 2, 3 or 5 times. The facilitator need to repeat the same process. Finally, gather all the paper and list out in one main paper, present to all the team members and start to discuss from the listed idea and proposed solution. That is the step how we want to conduct the brainwriting. It's good especially for those who are introvert person. Brainwrite, you will work is under time pressure. You have a time constraint. It's good for introvert person, but at the same time it's good if you have a very large team. Okay, so it's good for you to do the brainwrite. Then the benefit, brainwriting can be conducted without the facilitator or the moderator. But if you have the facilitator or moderator, which is much better. Now we want to talk about the worst possible idea. Worst possible idea, the facilitator brief the ideation session participant about the problem statement, the overall goals and important user insight. Then the facilitator asks the participant to come up with extremely bad, terrible, stupid or even illegal ideas. That's process we call as a brain dumping. So if you perform the brain dumping, you will figure out some people will throw the unexpected idea in order to solve the problem. In order to solve the problem discussed during the discussion, some people will throw the unexpected idea. And some of the idea is very cruel, but maybe relevant to solve the problems. So that process we call as a brain dumping. So as the facilitator, you must be sure to push your group to generate the extremely bad idea. But all the team members must open heart and mind, no hard feeling. Or maybe team members or maybe you as a facilitator can use a technique that generate a terrible idea, including listing the attribute of the worst idea. Then you need to investigate which attribute of the idea make them really bad. So when you have a list of the bad idea, now the facilitator responsibilities. You need to push your team members to turn all those horrible ideas into the good ideas. At the end, you will have a very good solution and product. Now we look on the video.
6 creative ways to brainstorm ideas. During the brainstorm process, it can be easy to hit a brick wall. If your brainstorm session has reached a dead end, here are some creative ways to generate fresh ideas that your audience will love. Mind mapping. This strategy creates a visual representation of related terms and ideas that can generate creative content ideas. Create a diagram with a central main idea that you can branch off to correlating words or concepts. Use the web of information in the diagram to help you generate a well-rounded view on single or multiple ideas. Right braining. Release your creative thoughts by doodling incomplete images. Think of a general topic to doodle from and start sketching images associated to that topic. Be sure to draw images that are incomplete, as leaving out portions or aspects of an image can spark creativity later. Then take your different images and try combining them in different ways to generate a new idea. Provocative actions. Look at things differently by changing your physical surroundings or by verbally communicating in unexpected ways. Try shaking things up. Physically change a room by turning the chairs upside down or verbally make an off-the-wall comment. For example,
could you design upside down?
What does the word design look like upside down?
Either way, unusual situations will ignite creative responses that you can pull ideas from. Break and build. This process is about breaking down and building up ideas to get a range of related information. Break down a general thought or idea into more detailed pieces of information, or do the opposite and build it up to reach a broader viewpoint. In the end, your solution can be based on the wide range of information from the process. Pessimist versus optimist. Find a creative solution for ideas from the conversation between a pessimist and an optimist. Start off a general topic of conversation with the phrase, "How about?" Then challenge the starting comment with a pessimistic response, followed by the optimist providing his answer to the pessimist's comment. For example,
We do not know how to design an infographic.
We can hire an infographic designer.
We do not have any ideas for him to design.
We can research ideas and hand him an outline.
by building upon each other's responses, a general idea can evolve into a more focused, relevant one. Randomness. Find the connection between a random word or thought and a general topic to develop a new creative idea. First, start with a general idea. Next, generate a random object and list words that can describe it or are associated with it. Last, pick the words from your list that can relate back to your general idea to form your solution. The next time you hit a brick wall, try using these creative development methods to make brainstorming for your content ideas a more fun, imaginative process with better solutions.
Now we want to talk about the creative tools. First we have Scramper, introduced by Bob in 1971. Scramper is the acronym substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another, use, eliminate, and reverse. Scramper is considered one of the easiest and most direct method. This is the description how you can use the Scramper tool in order to be creative during solving your problems. What can you substitute? What or who could you use instead? What can you combine or bring together? What can you adapt for use as a solution? Can you modify to change the item in some way? What other or new way could this be used? What can you get rid of? What could you rearrange or change around? So this example of question that you can use in order to solve the problem in creative way. You need to crack your head to answer all these questions in order to produce the creative product. Now let me see how we want to use the scraper. Let me watch this video. Alright, so now I hope you get an idea how to use the scraper tool in order to get a creative solution to propose a creative product. Right? Now we have another tool which is CODIM. CODIM is acronym stand for Quick and Dirt Innovative Method, which is created by Magic. Alright, So how the coding tool will looks like? Here is the coding tools. We have several cell over here, 9 cell with 3 row, 3 column. Okay, we have rectangle over here. So we have 9 cell. Start with increase size, add features, embedded existing product to another product, combine two product into one, existing product, spread existing product into two, embedded another product into existing product, remove a features, reduce the size. Normally we will start with the middle cell, which is existing product. Then from the existing product, we try to fill all the cell based on the existing product. Next, we have visual storytelling, another tools that you can use to have the creative product to help you in the creative thinking process. Visual storytelling will use graphic, image, picture, video to engage with the viewer. It will drive the emotion, engage with intercommunication, and motivate the audience to action. So there is 5 core elements that include in visual storytelling. We have tension, entertainment, education, micro interaction, call to action. Right, so this tool can be used in order to get the creative purpose solution and creative idea. Actually, all the tool you will engage during the thinking process or creative thinking process. All the tool I means not all the tool you use at a time. I means maybe you just use one from these 3 tools, but this tool you will use during the creative thinking process in order to get the creative solution and to produce the creative product. So we can create a video or short film, infographic, and involve the music. Alright, is the creative way in order to present your idea to solve the problem. So that's all for this topic. Okay, we already touched what is the creative thinking process. We already touched is the creative thinking tools and techniques and how we want to apply the tools. Okay, until we meet again in different topics. That's all. Assalamualaikum.